All right, we are live. Hello, social media world. Welcome to hashtag Burst TV, week 143 of hashtag The Homos Talk Show. I'm Aaron Mack, and I'm here with my good friends who will introduce themselves, starting with Jasmine.
Hey guys, Jasmine from H Town. Good evening.
Excellent. And Chrissy Marie.
Hey everyone, it's Chrissy Marie from Cleveland, Ohio, and it's great to be here.
Excellent. And Rogue Spiritual.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Rogue Spiritual, and I'm from the Bronx, New York City.
Right. And now we will go ahead and start with our very first topic and get the proverbial show on the road. I'm just chatting until it pops up as it should. So the first topic, it is called, the title from the article or the where it's coming from, where it all begins, is this flying vehicle goes from flying to driving in 3 minutes. Now, the topic is it's here, and it's coming from Inside Edition's YouTube. And after generations of being nothing more than a distant future fantasy, flying cars are here. And capabilities such as flying over traffic and more make this a very exciting concept. However, before such technology becomes affordable for, say, Joe, Jill, and Jacqueline Lowe, substantial changes must be made to our traffic laws regarding drivers slash flyers licensing, commuter traffic, air highways, and more. And my question is, what are 2 to 3 new rules that you would like to see instated that would make you most comfortable with the new flying car technology for us? And I will pick the order, and the order I'll go first because it's that topic, and then Chrissy Marie, and then Jasmine, and then Rogue Spiritual. For this particular topic, that's the order. The guest always goes last in the beginning just so they can sort of get a feel for things. Now, my answer, my 2 to 3 things that I would love to see instated for this. First, I did want to mention the fact that they say this vehicle can go 300 miles on 7 gallons of gas. And they mentioned it pretty matter-of-factly, like just 300 miles on 7 gallons of gas. But it's like, that is actually from Cleveland, Ohio, where I live, all the way to Hagerstown, Maryland, the state that I just moved from. And so that's pretty substantial. And as things become more gas efficient, that could also possibly have a reverse supply and demand effect and make gas even more expensive. But that's another topic for another day. So my first thing that I would like to be in play as far as rules, laws, would be low flying air highways and commercial crafts are of course much higher than
The no-fly zone, basically.
your cars. Yeah, a low fly zone. And I would also like high fines. Oh man. high fines for flying off of the air highways, because if someone makes a mistake and you don't want to end up having an air car land on your roof or on you. And also, I would like to see increased safety for air travel. Some kind of way that every air mistake does not equal major injury or death. Because, for somebody flying around in a driving car, if they crash the way things are right now, generally the expectation would be something very serious if they fall from out of the sky. So there's got to be a way around that. Maybe that goes back to the low flying thing. Anyway, those are my three. Chrissy Marie.
I was going to say something similar to the high fine, in regard to the high fines for recklessness. But my main thing to be instated would be that no one who's ever been charged with a DUI ever get the privilege to drive a flying vehicle. Additionally, the age group has to be well above the age of a student driver, and those are my main ones.
All right. You didn't want to give a third?
Nah.
Okay. All right. And next is Jasmine. What are your
Me?
three? Yes.
A lot. Who is the car made by? What does it say about inside? Do they say anything about who is it made by? Honda or whoever? I don't know.
No. It's not that. And technically, right now, it's in a totally different
It's
country. It's
not yet totally.
Slovakia, I think it is. But yeah, it's
Oh, they're making that?
yes, and they
Cool.
already have it, and it's already been approved.
They're techie over there? Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
They're techie over there like that?
Yeah.
Cool.
A lot of people are really good with technology stuff.
Wow.
So what
Yeah, I was
are
gonna say, that's cool. I think, I don't know. That's gonna be cool. I think less people is gonna definitely, like anything else, get smarter like me, and they're gonna be using that more. But it depends on the price, because if that's gonna be like a car, like how we have, and that's gonna be one new thing, then whoever's getting them, of course, if it's not a lot, then it's not a problem. But whoever's riding in it, of course, you gotta be careful. But I'm saying, like, if it's gonna be like a newer thing where it's gonna be to where most people can and will get them, like the cars now, but a flying car thing. I think when it comes down to the safety, they should have, like, I mean, I'm sure they probably thought about, like, still, they should have, like, the lower level in the air could be like the slow, the second level deeper in the air could be the medium, like how people drive when you drive different places, like on the road. That's, I think they should do it like that. And the higher should be like if you want to go fast, but then you get crashed. But I think that'll be cool. You should get trained on
Crash
helicopter
and
stuff
fall from
and
the-
driving.
Huh?
I think they should do like training for both. It makes sense, right? For driving / flying, whatever class, because like the plane people, of course, that's different, but you're gonna be fly driving or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah, it would require a whole aviation level of
Training.
licensing.
That'll be cool. Wait, was there another question, right?
Well, the question was the 2 to 3 new rules that you would like to see enacted in order to make you feel most comfortable with this new technology?
Yeah, those were the three things I think they should have comfortable with the air driving thing, like driving, like how you and whatever else.
All right. And Rogue Spiritual?
Honestly, I think they should have some type of mental capacity test or whatever the case is. I mean, and also if you have, well, first of all, I am as forgiving on people with drug and mental history as I am not, especially when it's the air. Because there's people that are doing fine that have drug and mental history on land because they conquered it and they went to rehab, this and this and that, or whatever the case is. However, the air is different. I agree with all of you with the no-fly zone, this and this and that. This is why you should also, this is why they should also, you should definitely take your medication when you're dealing with the air as you're dealing on land. You should not be on anything up or whatever the case is. Honestly, you shouldn't even be smoking weed when you be driving anyway, but that's a whole different story. I don't even care. We don't do nothing to you. It's not for everybody, but still, that's my concern. It's just gonna be, are people gonna do drugs and alcohol in the air like they do on land or whatever the case is, like like somebody else said. I'm sorry. What's your name? From Cleveland, Ohio.
Crystal?
Anyway,
Chrissy,
oh Gracie. I'm so sorry, Gracie.
Chrissy Marie.
Oh Chrissy. I'm sorry, Chrissy. Yes, like you said. I wow. I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, stability. They should be stable. I don't, anybody with a history of a traffic violator law, like a car accident or whatever the case is, or whatever, they should not be driving on the air. It shouldn't even be driving on land. I agree with the whole no-fly zone. However, they should be a drug capacity and a mental capacity test. If you are taking medication, you have to bring proof that you are taking medication and you never missed a flick. If you're in rehab, let it be known. So it can be safe for everybody.
Absolutely. All right. And now on to the next section. Now, this is a fun little section called In My Mind. And last week I said On My Mind, which was technically a different song, but the song that I really was thinking of was the song called In My Mind, which is a song originally by Heather Headley's. So I wanted to pun off of that. Anyway, for In My Mind, what we do up with this is, now this is before the cards, but within my mind, we are answering two main questions. And it's three, the way that it works, and I'm sorry I didn't explain this at the very beginning, but it's 3 minutes for your first part of your answer, rather 2 minutes. And then after everyone has had their first 2 minutes, then you can go back and have a sort of free talk of 1 minute. All right. And that's the way that goes. Now, the In My Mind part, we're answering two questions. The first question is, after reading this topic, it came from a post, what is in your mind after hearing it? What's your reaction and why? And share a life experience that you've had that connects with this. Now, the first one that comes up, it's coming from Instagram's @one. And also, I love that happened right there, because I meant to say everyone, please mute your microphones when you're not speaking. All right? So everyone just mute when you're not speaking. And this first topic, again, it's coming from @OneStrongWoman, the number one. And the post that they made said, saying how you feel will never ruin a real connection. And since we went through this last week, I don't have to go first for this this section like I had myself first all last week, but I will. But the way I see it, whoever wants to go first, second, third, fourth. And we'll just fit in there.
I'll
And-
go first.
Okay. And the questions that we're answering, what's in your mind after hearing this? What's your reaction? And share a life experience that you've had that connects with this quote. Saying how you feel will never ruin a real connection.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't agree. I'm like, that's not always true, and it's sometimes true with that quote. But when you talking about a post, people post things, they type things, say things, but I wanted to mention on like, because I don't know like particularly, but if you, I mean, you're speaking on any post, but I'm thinking mainly of a meme post because those are the funny ones and they say different little crazy things. But I can't think about a particular one. Yeah, I see some crazy ones, but I don't remember any lately. But yeah, I don't fully. I agree, but I don't. It just depends. Oh yeah, and Heather Hartley, yeah, she's a good artist. That's all I have to say.
Okay, excellent. Anybody else want to go next?
I'll go.
All right, Rogue Spiritual.
Saying how you feel will never ruin a real connection. I actually agree with what she said. It depends on who the person is. I actually had an experience where I met a couple of friends from the mental health program that I currently go to, and I was bugged out. However, I said how I felt, said how I feel still, and they're still my friends to this day. Now, the only reason why it ruins a connection is because it was never meant to be a friend to begin with. If you see how you feel, that's the only reason why it ruins a connection is because they was never meant to be a friend to begin with, and I had a lot of experience in that. This is why people should just, if people should say how they feel. And honestly, if people ain't got nothing nice to say, they don't say nothing at all. And that's basically it.
All right. So I actually will go next. And I will say, after I start my timer, that at first it just said that I was like, oh, well, it's just not meant to be. And personally, I have ruined some potential connections with people with my sense of humor. And nevertheless, there are others that I brought my exact same sense of humor and it works and we go a distance. I still haven't had a romantic relationship last over a year and I'm 38 years old. But, I've had some good connections with people that have lasted a substantial, for me, amount of time. So I guess those other ones, when my humor did not work for them, yeah, it ruined the connection, and perhaps that simply wasn't a real connection, as the quote says. Chrissy? Chrissy Marie?
So ideally, saying how you feel should never ruin a real connection. That's the first thing that I think of. It should never, anything, if you're not able to be transparent with the people around you, then you need to get away from them. And that's just, frankly, how I feel about that. Because it's really uncomfortable being around people that you have to walk on eggshells around. And if you're not that type of person, which I'm not known to be that type of person, then don't talk to those people. Get away from those people, because they're not for you. And that's my answer.
Can I say something to what she said and add on?
Sure, go ahead, Jasmine.
Certain things, because as a person, I don't really know what they mean, like a lot of you, but I know that thing that she's saying, walking on eggshells, and I think if I'm right about what I'm gonna say about what it means, like she's saying, is when a situation, when a person has to walk on an eggshell about something, is when they want to say something but they can't for whatever reason. Not really because they don't want to, but they can't. But I think there are situations where it's not when she used walking on eggshells, that is something to that effect, but it's not walking on eggshells where you feel and you think you're not like comfortable. Like it's just like everybody's not like just comfortable. It's not like a walking on eggshell type thing. It's like the feel like some people with whatever things they don't get you, like that type thing, whether it's humor thing or not, but for the most part humor. Like some people, because no one's really alike, they just kind of like not really with you on some things, you know what I mean? Not to the walking on eggshell type thing. Like say if you mentioned something, it was like nothing, like you said something, but you don't want to be like in a situation where it's like, would you say walking on eggshells? I mean, like something like you guys just don't really like the same stuff, you know?
Right.
Alright.
So that kind of drove my point.
Yeah, I know. Want to confuse you guys. That's why I was like, huh? I knew what I was thinking, but I'm like, you're right.
Excellent. All right. And the next topic, part 2 of In My Mind, because in my mind, I used to love that song. I'm sorry. Anyway, but yes, the next topic of In My Mind, it's coming from Positive. Oh gosh, I don't know where my eyes. Okay. Positive Women O. Okay. And this quote says, don't treat people as bad as they are. Treat them as good as you are. And again, the In My Mind questions are, first, what's in your mind after hearing this? What's your reaction? Why? And second, share a life experience that you've had that connects with this quote. And again, we'll do the same thing. Any order is fine. And I'm actually ready to go first if nobody else wants to take it. I will acquiesce to whoever is chomping at the proverbial bit to go. So.
You go, Aaron.
All right.
Take it.
I'll take it. I say that as sweet as this quote is, and the cute little kids like the helping each other up and all of that stuff, it's like, oh, it's so sweet. In my mind, my first reaction to this was that it feels kind of judgy. And I asked the question, who are me to judge how good or bad something or someone is, you know, and I say just always, and this goes back to what I was talking with you about, Rogue Spiritual, always just do your best to do right, you know, and if I detect, and going to how does it relate to me personally, if I detect that somebody is being a user, like taking advantage of the fact that I try to treat everybody nicely, everybody, then I'll just fall back from them. Fall back. Trying to keep,
Yeah, I so agree with you on that.
yeah.
I so agree with you on that, and I basically agree with everything you said. I mean, honestly, I say it like this: always be kind of people, because literally, you don't know who you're gonna cross. You don't know who you might cross. You don't know who might help you in the future. Always be kind to people, because every little person, if it ain't God, every little person holds the key points to your fucking fate. This is why you should always be kind to people that deserve it. Now, if they're gonna take away from your energy or suck your life away, cancel them. Don't even fuck with them. That's all I gotta say with that, because I agree everything what you said.
Can I go?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with Shaw said, but I'm I forgot how to say it. Well, basically, like I said, I agree with you guys, but I kind of like a little different on it. Like, still mostly agree, but I'm just kind of different to where how I see it. Like, I know that thing and experience it, like what you guys are saying, but yeah, it's just I don't know the same thing that you guys know. But I was just gonna say like sometimes like somebody you never know they having a bad day or it might not be that they can be that kind of person whatever the thing is going on where they're acting out the bad thing. But what is the other question? Treat them as good as you are. I was saying that to say like there's a lot of different people like us all, but I experienced it just like y'all. But I was gonna say it's a lot of people like Chrissy, like a Chrissy, like how she is, and they're really cool. And then sometimes we all just, I mean, yeah, you judge, but you judge right sometimes, but sometimes you judge wrong. I'm saying if somebody was like Chrissy and she's really cool and nice and stuff like that, like people like her, then and she have a bad day, somebody might mistaken it for oh she's a crazy person. So I don't know. You guys are right. And that's all I had.
All right. Now, before we go to Chrissy, I'm just going to ask everybody, please make sure to mute your mic when you're not speaking. Always mute your mic when you're not speaking. And Chrissy Marie.
So just to kind of like tag along to attach to this quote, don't trust people as bad, or don't treat people as bad as they are. Treat them as good as you are. Like you were saying, Jasmine, a person's most consistent behavior is what you should pay attention to the most. And if it's just not in alignment with your energy and what you vibrate in life, then remove yourself. You got to pick your battles. You can't just be, you can't turn the other cheek to everyone, so to speak. Sometimes you just sometimes you have to stand up stand your ground and just continue to be who you are. Other times it's important just not even to put your energy in that direction, because it's just not going to, it's going to take you out of your character. It's going to, lead you away from the path that you're on mentally, spiritually, or otherwise. And it's not going to serve any good, even if you're kind to them, because they're going to continue to do, if they're doing disrespectful things, if they're doing inconsiderate things, if they're doing abusive things, and it's consistent, then that's what they're going to do until they don't have anyone to do it to. So, it's, you know, my simple approach to that is just to not entertain that type of behavior. Now, if it's somebody that you care for and you know that that's just not their regular, just like you said, then, you know, dealing with it with kindness is definitely the best way to go about it, in my opinion. Because everybody has bad days, but some people are consistently terrible
Mm.
and consistently narcissistic or consistently abusive or consistently negative.
Mm.
And, you know, you want to be kind to that. You want to continue to be kind to someone who's not appreciative of your kindness. I don't. I would rather just not eliminate that part out of my life and continue on my journey doing me. And a situation I can say, of course, the only situation I could think of was a recent situation that I was dealing with somebody who was verbally abusive, who was physically abusive. And it was consistent. They'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I love you, I'm sorry. And then as soon as they're upset about something, then it's explosive. It was just evident that this is the most consistent behavior. So do I approach that with kindness? Absolutely not. I approach it with get out my face and go that way and keep going and stay out of my space. Kindly.
Left to the left. All right. So now for the last card, live people, you'll have to catch it on YouTube.